Double overtime. Let's make it quick. Really proud of our guys. Tip my hat to Troy and Coach Cross and his staff and his players. They were really tough tonight. And after a tough loss for them and being on the road, they played their absolute asses off, executed. And I thought we're tougher than us over stretches that were huge. But then ultimately our guys matched it and made one more play than them in the end. So proud of the growth of this group, throughout that game. I thought we grew up a lot. Proud of them. Go ahead, fire away.
Did you think this team, just through practice and fall camp and everything, could stick something out like that?
Well, we knew we had depth. We knew we had some experience coming back, even though it was still pretty young. We hadn't been tested like this yet. We feel this team's tougher than last year. We've been talking about we've got to get tougher and more mature. And I think this was a perfect example of us coming together to do that in one game. So, we've got to keep things in perspective. It's early, but this was a big one for our guys, and we were able to learn a lot of lessons watching this tape as a team. A lot of individual plays on both ends. Sloppy with the ball. We should have put that thing away in regulation. We turned it over. The thing I'm upset at myself is not calling a timeout after Pope hit the second free throw. But the game was in a situation where I felt we had to use one in case we couldn't get the ball in bounds or something like that. I don't foul. I've done it once, and it didn't hurt. And thankfully, the guys had my back tonight. I take blame for that. It's not my philosophy. I've always hung my hat on defense. The guys knew how we were supposed to defend it. We didn't execute it, and they got a wide open shot that they banked in. I'm going to take that. I had my speech all prepared had we lost, of taking the blame for it. But course of my career, let's get a frickin' stop. And part of my concern was they had just gotten an offensive rebound off a missed free throw and scored it. So that was another thing in the back of my mind there. But the guys had my back. They found a way to get it done, and luckily, we learned a lesson through victory.
Coach, really quick, the game-winning drive, three-point play, how much experience last year contributed to that drive?
Huge, and his experience over the course of the game. He wasn't quite ready for the rock fight, and he got better. His teammates were great, bringing him along. He got back onto the ground. A year ago that might have been a fadeaway. And he got to the rim. We were able to clear out the side, great finish, and then he converted at the free throw line. Huge play for him, which shows great growth and maturity from last year to this, and from the start of this game to the finish.
Dexter, you had 48 minutes. How you feeling?
No, I'm definitely feeling a little tired, a little gassed right now, but I think the coaches and staff do a great job of kind of preparing us for situations just like this. Partly on us and partly on me. We just didn't get the job done, in regulation in the first overtime. So just next time that we go out, we have to put our stamp on the game. So.
And Christian, you started out hot in the ball game, not only offensively but defensively as well. But where do you think the shots were missing? Not from you, but the whole team, because after going up 20-10, then things kind of cooled off from the field.
We missed a lot of free throws. We got to get better at the free throw line, and it was just a spurt there in the first half where they were getting like open threes where we just weren't talking or we just weren't playing as hard, and they came back. It was 20-10, and then they ended up coming back. But yeah, just free throws, and we missed a couple gimmies too in the first half.
I thought we got off plan a little bit, got a little too much individual at times. You saw them when they penetrate and didn't get an angle to the rim. They jump stop, pivoted. We're looking for an inside out. We didn't do that enough. We'll get better at it. But our guys, what I loved was the toughness. They wanted to make a play for us to come out on top, not because they were trying to pad any stats or anything. So I love that part of it. Now we just got to add a little bit more smarts on how we disperse and how we find guys, because we didn't shoot it well the other night. This isn't good enough from three. We're better shooters than that, but the higher quality looks we get, that number will go up. But again, really proud. We had a couple freshmen out there through some big moments at the end. Got great contributions from a lot of guys. It's early, and it was a huge win for us. So we're gonna grow from it, I know for sure. Appreciate it. Go Beavs. You good? You got one?
I got one question. How do you is there any preparation beforehand, expecting to go into a double overtime game?
What we always talk about is from tap to finish. So it might be 40 minutes, it might be 45, it might be 50. You got to stay in the moment. Dexter did a great job because I was mad at myself going into overtime, and Dexter said, we're good, we're going to get this. Going into the second overtime, hey, this is us, let's have some fun, we got this. So the leadership these guys showed in keeping everybody on, that's the big thing. Not like, they took the momentum from us by sending it to overtime. These guys wouldn't let us lose it, and proud of them for that. Good question. Great, thanks, go Beavs.